Greetings, salutations, respect, and love. I am Scott from the Fire Note. Today in the Prog Corner, we continue with the series Prog Year in Review. Today we're looking at 2016. This was the first year that I did my Prog Year in Review feature for the Fire Note. I only did 20 albums, which was fantastic for me today. I actually still enjoy all 20. I kept them in, and so I was able to add 5 that I missed. I'm shocked at the 5 that I missed, actually. 2016 was actually a very pivotal year, not just in music, but if you look at the political landscape, 2016 began with Brexit, and it ended with the election of Donald J. Trump, depending on how you feel about that kind of thing. In sports, you had LeBron James bringing the Cleveland Cavaliers their first NBA championship, coming back from a 3-1 deficit. You had the Chicago Cubs handing the Cleveland Indians a defeat, and they get their first World Series win in over 100 years. The Denver Broncos won the Super Bowl. The Pittsburgh Penguins won the Stanley Cup. Man, that seems like a long time ago, doesn't it? Anyway, we're going to run through the top 25 prog albums of 2016, and we're going to start right now with number 25. And thank you, Scientist, with Stranger Heads Prevail. This New Jersey septet is just bonkers. They're crazy. They add a lot of jazz and funk and R&B with horns. They're just nuts. This was their second album. It followed Maps to Non-Existing Places, and a couple years ago they put out Terraformer. All 3 records are really good. Highly recommend this band. At number 24, we're going to Russia. Well, we don't really want to go to Russia right now, but we will with our number 24 pick in iamthemorning and their album Lighthouse. They are a 2-piece band with a piano player and a female vocalist. It's really, really good stuff. Very chill, a lot of classical influences. Just a dynamite record, a really great album. At number 23, Norway's Motorpsycho with Here Be Monsters. These guys can really do no wrong. Ever since 2012's Death-Defying Unicorn, I've liked everything these guys have released, and this is no exception. It's a short little record. I think it's only like 35 minutes long, so it breezes by really quick, and if you don't know Motorpsycho, it might be a real good entry point as a result. At number 22, I'm going with a dude named Gustavo Santhiago. He put out an album called Animamº. He's a Brazilian. At the time he released it, 6 years ago, dude was 17 years old, so I guess he's 23 now. I hadn't listened to this in 5 years, so as I was working on this list, I went back and listened to all these records, and I was once again surprised at how mature and awesome this record is. Where's this guy been? I haven't heard anything about him since this record dropped. Maybe somebody can give me some info about the young Gustavo Santhiago. At number 21, how about Opeth and Sorceress? This was their third album with the clean vocals. I really wish I liked the death growl kind of stuff. I know I'm missing out. I know there's a lot of great music out there that I just can't listen to because of the Cookie Monster stuff. I really love Prog Opeth, and this is a fantastic album. Maybe not quite as good as Pale Communion, but it's right up there, and it's really, really special. At number 20, let's go with Haken Affinity. This was their ode to 80s prog, which is kind of a strange reference point, but it definitely works for them, shedding some of the Gentle Giant influences of their earlier stuff, really trying to find their own lane, and I think it's really successful. I really like this album a lot. At number 19, this is one that for some reason, unforgivably, was not on my original list, which I'm going to put a link to in the descriptions. It's Marillion. It's Fear. I'm not going to say the name because I promised I wouldn't curse on this channel. You know what it stands for. You know what it means. It's a fantastic album. Almost as good as the new one that came out this year. It's really strong stuff. Perfectly timed for everything that was going on in the world in 2016. Yeah, that seems like a real long time ago. At number 18, we're going to stay in the UK with Frost. Falling Satellites. This is their third album. John Mitchell, Jem Gottfried. This was the last album with Craig Blundell on drums. It's a weird one, man. This doesn't sound like the normal prog. Some of these songs sound kind of alternative indie type of stuff. Sometimes I think I'm listening to an artist like Max Thunder or something. It pushes the needle, man. And you know, that's what I want out of my prog. It's supposed to progress. Frost absolutely does that. Very modern sounding, very awesome. Number 17. We're going back to the US of A and Evership, their debut album. I love Evership. Their album that came out last year, The Uncrowned King, was one of my favorite albums of the year. I think I had it at number 2. They got part 2 of The Uncrowned King coming out this year, but their debut album from 2016, fabulous. Fabulous stuff. If you don't know Bo West and his amazing vocals, you need to check these guys out, because some people say that vocals are the weak spot in modern prog. Check out Evership. You're not going to be saying that. No, at number 16, we're going to Cirrus Bay, wherever that is, and Places Unseen. This is a cool band. They roll out a lot of really chill types of Renaissance, Genesis, camel-inflected kind of stuff with the female vocal. I guess this is a new vocalist. They had a different female singer on their earlier records, but I really like Cirrus Bay and I really like this album. And going back to it a couple days ago, I was really impressed, and I liked it a lot. At number 15, we're going to Sweden and Kaipa de Capo, and the name of the album is Darskapens Monotoni. This is all sung in Swedish. This is Roine Stolt bringing the old Kaipa back without Hans Luden, so it's a lot of the original members of Kaipa with him. You know, like I said, they sing in Swedish, so it kind of brings back that spirit of old 70s Kaipa, but it's a phenomenal record. And I'm kind of in the headspace that anything Roine Stolt throws out, I'm probably going to like. This is no exception. Number 14, the swan song for the great Vander Graaf generator, Do Not Disturb. I really like this album. It just came out of the blue. I wasn't expecting anything this good out of a band that had been around forever, but it was a phenomenal record. And if, in fact, this is the swan song for Vander Graaf, they went out on an extremely high note. Absolutely. Number 13, Circa, Valley of the Windmill. Yeah, this was another one that really surprised me. I am not a huge Billy Sherwood guy. World Trade, his solo stuff, I like it fine. You know, his work with Yes is okay. But Circa, this album is amazing. The Stan Decker cover is beautiful. Tony Kaye is the keyboard player here with Billy. And then there's a couple dudes playing bass and drums. But it's a shockingly good record. If you're a fan of Yes, you're going to like this. It's actually fantastic. Number 12 from Boston, we're going with Bent Knee, their third album, Say So. This is a group that I really enjoy. They're really whacked out. They're really hard to pigeonhole. It's hard to put them in a prog corner like we're doing here today, but you know, there's a lot of indie influences. I hear Tori Amos, I hear Bjork, I hear so many different things in Bentley's music. It's a wild ride. Strap in. They're really great. At number 11, let's do Kansas and the Prelude Implicit. This was their comeback record with a new lineup and a new energy. The band sounds excited. They sound happy to be recording. It's a really nice record. They put out another album last year. I actually prefer this one as far as the reunion records go. They're both really good, but yeah. At number 10, yeah, we're in the top 10 now. This is an album a lot of people despised. I actually kind of liked it. I don't know why. We're talking about Dream Theater and the Astonishing, probably the most hated record in their discography. You know, people likened it to a Disney story with all these different voices and characters being sung. It's theatrical, it's dramatic, it tells a really convoluted story. A lot of people hated this record. There's actually some really good material on it. Dream Theater isn't going to let you down like that. People, give it another chance. You know what I'm talking about. Number 9. Bruce Sword and the Pineapple Thief. We've got Your Wilderness. This is the first album with the great Gavin Harrison on drums, and what a difference that makes. I mean, you talk about elevating a group from being a real nice little outfit to being a world beater. Yeah, you add Gavin Harrison to your lineup, and that's probably what's going to happen. Yeah, big shocker. It sounds a little bit like Porcupine Tree, but I ain't hating on Pineapple Thief. They're fantastic. At number 8, The Deer Hunter, Act 5, I guess this one was. Maybe a slight drop off from Act 4, which is kind of universally agreed upon as his best work. I love The Deer Hunter. Casey's amazing. Yeah, he's not capital P prog. You know, you hear a little emo and indie and alternative stuff going on in his music, but whatever. This guy's incredible. Check him out if you don't know him. At number 7, let's go to Chattanooga, Tennessee, and Glass Hammer with Valkyrie. This is the last album with Susie Bogdanovich on vocals. It tells a story of war and the soldiers, emotions and feelings and all that kind of stuff. It's actually a great album musically. This is one of Glass Hammer's better records. They've got so many albums out that it's kind of hard to figure out where to, squeeze into their discography. You could do a lot worse than Valkyrie in that regard. At number 6, we're going back to Sweden with Car Mechanic. This is Jonas Reingold's band. This was the album called Dot. It's got a major epic, like a 25-minute piece on there, but the whole album is really fantastic. I love Car Mechanic. I really hope they put out another album. It's been 6 years. I know Jonas Reingold's been super busy with Steve Hackett, but come on, man. Do us a favor. We want more. And now we're into the top 5, where I'm going to show some vinyl. My favorite part. It's Purson! At number 5, Desire's Magic Theater, Rosalie Cunningham, Purson. This was the second and final Purson album before she broke up the band and went solo. It's psychedelic, it's funky, it's all about 1970, and, that's the back. I love Rosalie Cunningham. I just did an album review of her latest solo album, and it's really, really great too. Anything she does, highly recommended. At number 4, Kavis Cherobi and Knifeworld, Bottled Out of Eden. This album just killed me, man. I mean, I love Kavis Cherobi. I love what he's doing with Gong. I love the work that he did with Bassoon Monsoon and all that other crazy stuff he's been up to. He's put solo records out. He's got Utopia Strong going now. He's in a million different things. He needs to do another Knifeworld album because this thing is weird. This thing is bizarre. This thing is all over the map, but the songwriting is absolutely incredible. The horns, just amazing. I fell in love with Kavis Cherobi because of that album. It's really great. Well, wait. I got 3 more to go. Number 3, John Anderson and Roina Stolt. The Invention of Knowledge. 2 worlds collide. 2 of my favorite prog artists of all time deciding to do an album together. And guess what, folks? It's really, really good. Yeah, there's not enough instrumental stuff here. Yeah, John sings a little bit too much here. I would have liked some more, instrumental breakdowns and stuff, considering the amazing musicians that Roina Stolt had with him in Sweden to help flesh this thing out. Apparently, they're working on a second album. I really hope that happens because I love this album. And look at that artwork. Oh, man, that's cool. Yeah, it's a classic. It's amazing. A modern classic. I've said it before. It's the best Yes-related album since Going for the One. Dispute that if you want. Number 2. Big Train Folklore. Oh, if I had to pick one Big Train album, this would be the one. I know all you freaks like English Electric and Grimm's Pound and Common Ground and the new one, but this to me, pound for pound, is the best thing Big Train ever did. David Longdon was in complete control here. David Gregory's guitar playing, Nick DiVigilio's drumming, Greg Sponton's becoming a more well-rounded musician. Just everything on this album works. It all clicks. It's got short songs that are catchy and memorable that my wife loves, and it's got the longer songs too. It's got everything. Everything you want from a prog album. Number 1, though. This one here is one for the ages. Yeah, I said in my 2017 countdown that From Silence to Somewhere by Wobbler was probably the best album of the 21st century. And then I also threw in a little quip that maybe Steve Wilson and Neal Morse might have a little something to say about it. This was what Neal Morse would have to say about that. The Similitude of a Dream, part 1. There was a part 2 that came out a couple years later called The Great Adventure, but this album is everything. All the songs kind of, crossfade into each other. There's no long epic here, but it's 110 minutes of perfection. Every song is great. Every melody soars. The musicianship is top notch. It tells an interesting story, the Pilgrim's Progress, whatever, But I saw these guys in Cleveland shortly after this album came out at the Beechwood Ballroom, I think it's called, and they were incredible. We did the meet and greet, so I got to meet, Neal and Mike Portnoy and Eric Gillette and Bill Hubauer and who am I forgetting? Yeah, Randy George. Let's not forget about the great Randy George. The Similitude of a Dream by the Neal Morse Band, my number 1 album of 2016, and as great as Folklore is, as great as that John Anderson, Royna Stolt album is, as great as Purson and Knifeworld are, honestly, it's not even close. This baby is certainly in the top 10 of the greatest modern prog albums of all time. So that's my breakdown of 2016. I know I went a little long. I'm going to go even longer. Why not? I said last episode I did, crying and whining and moaning about getting to 1,000 subscribers, and I needed 42. Well, right now I need 16 more. You freaks came out for me, man. In the last 24 hours, 26 of y'all hit that subscribe button. So to all my new subscribers out there, thank you so much. I'm going to work hard to try to earn that trust, to earn that sub. I know it don't come lightly. I know you can hit unsubscribe at any time. So I'm going to, do my best to try to keep the quality here as high as possible and to keep my energy level as high as possible and keep drinking the Mountain Dews, to keep that going or whatever else might help, keep me medically sane. Anyway, I am Scott from the Prog Corner. And you freaks are awesome. Thank you. I love you. I am off until me and the great Scott Medina do our Yes episode. I am so looking forward to that. You have no idea. So I will see you guys then. In the meantime, peace.